How many of you have heard of the Ding Dong Eat It Up video on TikTok or the Why Did You Redeem It reels on Instagram? I bet half of you expected me to say that with a thick accent. Many of us are on social media or have heard of the trends or memes happening on those apps. At the end of the day, these apps shape our personalities, especially our humor, even if it is offensive. As a westernized South Asian, so many of my friends, both Desi and not, have told me stereotypical jokes about my race. Racism towards South Asians is normalized, and the media is the mastermind behind it all. From the forced poor reputation created by the smallest percentage of native Desi creators, to westernized South Asian creators exploiting those stereotypes as humor, to how the media portrays the average Desi. How have we turned a blind eye to this blatant racism? Let me clear up the prejudice against South Asians and why the media is behind it all. With a lack of filter on the internet, the videos we watch influence our perspective on the world around us. Unfortunately, this leads to some creators unaware of the effect their posts have for the rest of us. Enter the smallest percentage of native Desi creators. I'm sure many of you have seen those videos of bizarre foods or questionable meals on the streets of India or any other South Asian country. The reality is that these are only 0.0001% of South Asians. South Asian street food is actually some of the most culturally rich and diverse foods in the entire world. What happens on the media, though, is that videos showcasing the true rich and culture of our race are overshadowed by the weird and appalling behavior of these very few individuals. As these videos blow up, people gain their knowledge on South Asian culture from here. This allows stereotypical jokes to form as people jump on these viral videos. Now, these creators are sadly unaware of the effect they have for the rest of us. The only thing worse could be anyone intentionally promoting these stereotypes, aware of the backlash for our race. Let me introduce a familiar face with my next point on how westernized South Asian creators exploit these stereotypes for their humor. Creators who were either born into Western society or adapted here use their platforms to pose as internet personalities resembling basic South Asian stereotypes. Look at Feek, for example. Feek is the creator of the Ding Dong Eat It Up trend, where he goes to a university lecture, starts cooking butter chicken, and interrupts the professor in a loud, thick, obnoxious accent. Feek now has to deal with fans harassing him over a joke he started. Because of trends like these, people think it's okay to promote these stereotypes because someone from our own race has promoted them. This gives them the incorrect perception of how South Asians truly exist and what's okay to assume of them. Now, with all the situations I've brought up so far, it almost seems like Desis are sabotaging their own race. This isn't the case, though, as this prejudice has been traced back all the way to Hollywood, to the classic shows we've learned to adore. Western media portrays all their South Asian characters with exaggerated stereotypes. Look at Baljit from Phineas and Ferb, or Raj from The Big Bang Theory. Their whole characters are based off the fact that they're exotic and that they're geeks that everyone bullies. Anytime these characters are on screen and a joke is told, they always end up becoming the punchline. Not only that, but Hollywood doesn't even cast South Asians half the time. They take a popular actor, tell them to play their lines with an exaggerated accent, and expect to pull off the basic brown character. You know our beloved Apu from The Simpsons? Voiced by two Caucasian men with no roots whatsoever to South Asia. TV has and is still the biggest global entertainment system. If our representation on the big screens is us being degraded or exotic, our race is alienated from the rest of the globe. Now, pointing fingers does find the root of the problem, but that doesn't help solve it in the first place. The media has and still is misleading the public on the true identity of South Asians, from the poor representation by the native Desi community, to westernized South Asians profiting from these stereotypes, to the media portraying the stereotypical brown person in every form of media they produce. Finding the misinterpretation, how can we possibly fix this? At the beginning, I mentioned some trends that people use to identify the Desi culture. I want you guys to ask yourself, why did I expect her to say that with an accent if she doesn't have one? I want you guys to explore the truth on South Asian culture, the vibrant clothing, the delicious foods, the beautiful languages. Separate the prejudice from the truth. As a quote from Hannah Kurian in her article on the South Asian representation in the media states, "Are you laughing with us or at us?"